Today though, I'm so excited. So today I'm actually going to show you a tool I created so that you can not only, one, easily determine what percentage your Equiband is at, but two, also so you can track your progress along the way, not just like where you started and where you ended, but all the way through. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Team Fuego. I am so excited for today's video, guys. If you thought that the videos I've already posted about the Equiband were helpful, believe me, this one is gonna blow all those out of the water. So before I dive into that though, I just want to take a moment and say thank you to everybody who's subscribed to this channel and everybody who's sent me messages and comments on either the YouTube videos or Instagram, because honestly, one, I love helping you guys. I really love talking to you about your experiences and the struggles you have with the Equiband. They're not things I haven't heard before, mostly because they were my struggles as well sometimes. And also though, I don't think I've actually come across a problem that I haven't actually faced, really though. But anyway, it not only does it help me connect with you guys, but it helps me create videos like this where I know I can make content that's really helpful for everybody to make progress with the Equiband, because if you're already using it, you already know what that thing is capable of. And if you don't use it yet, then I'll link some videos below about like my review. I have a personal review, a before and after video. If you're not convinced, watch some of those videos, because honestly, the results are, you can't argue with them. Like it's unreal. So this tool really does open a whole new chapter for you and your horse. So today though, I'm so excited. So today I'm actually going to show you a tool I created so that you can not only, one, easily determine what percentage your Equiband is at, but two, also so you can track your progress along the way, not just like where you started and where you ended, but all the way through. So guys, you aren't gonna want to miss how you get your very own Equiband tracker. So we're gonna hop in my computer and I'm gonna do a little demo with my sample spreadsheet, and then I'm gonna tell you how you can download this for yourself. So first though, I just wanted to start with like the reason why I created this. And I created it the first time. Like you'll see there's 3 horses as like my example in here, and those were my 3 horses that I was using the Equiband on. And this spreadsheet, I didn't create it until 5 months into using the Equiband. And what I realized, hindsight being 2020 of course, is that I didn't get to track exactly what I was doing with my horse to get him to where he is. And I think that going forward, all of the horses that I use this on, like it's the same thing when you track, so like if you do fitness with your horse and you track their heart rate, or you do any type of track, it doesn't even, so not even tracking your horse on your phone, it tracks the number of steps you take. Like tracking your progress is the only way to really determine where you are and where you want to go, and how far you have to go to get to where you're trying to go to. So the reason I created this spreadsheet was because it's just something I really wish that I had thought of 5 months ago, but I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know how much this thing was gonna help. But who knew? All my favorite tools in the horse world are rubber bands. Like it's just such a silly concept. Because my other favorite is the stretchy rubber band. So anyway, all right, guys. So let's hop in my computer because I'm really excited to show you how this thing works. All right. All right, everybody, so here it is. Okay, so so this spreadsheet is going to help you for two reasons, like I said. So the first one is it's going to help you very simply do the math that is required to figure out like the 50%. Okay, when you go on the Equiband website and they tell you what percentage to use it at, they always say, they go, oh, you should be using it at 50%. One of the things that I realized is 50% is not where you start. Nope, not. So, 50% is it's too severe to start with. This is going to make your horse work really hard. It's a hard workout. It's strength training. And to be honest, it's maybe something your horse hasn't even done before. Because not only, so you ask your horse to activate their muscles, but what this does is this asks your horse to activate their muscles every single step without you asking. It's actually amazing. And so this spreadsheet, what it's going to do on this first tab here, there's two tabs. This first tab is going to, as I have this broken down, so horse 1, horse 2, horse 3. So if you're like me and have multiple things doing this, then you can track each horse separately. And then you have the ab line and you have the butt line. So let's just go from left to right, and I'll share with you how each of these work. So this first column here is your 50% measurement. So when you go to measure, so either you do this one of two ways. You either take your measuring tape and you measure from buckle to buckle and cut that number in half, or you measure from the buckle to the center of the butt or the center of the abs, and that is in fact 50%. So these numbers in here are just fluke numbers. However, I will say shout out to Joanne. We were talking on Instagram, and so I'm actually using your numbers for this example. So so she said that 36 inches is 50% for her because 72 was all the way around, and she said that currently she has it set at 48 inches, which puts her at 66.67%. So, and then just to show you, say when she works her way up to at 36, then this number is going to automatically change to 50% because that's what this spreadsheet does, is it shows you where you are at in terms of how close you are to 50%. And then what I also did was I added color coding, so when you get down into under 65%, it gets into the green area. Above 65, you're in the yellow area, and then red is going to be higher than 75%. Now the reason there are two sets of columns with this percentage measurement is because this first area is where you start at. So I always say to everyone who has messaged me, everybody who comments, I say always start at between 75 and 80% of whatever your measurement is. And that's because you don't want to push your horse too hard too fast. You want your horse to really get comfortable in what you're asking them to do. Like, for instance, you don't go to the gym and just say, I'm going to run 10 miles today. I mean, you could, but that's not only is that not good for your body, you're probably going to be not only really sore, but maybe even hurt afterward. I mean, I can't run 10 feet. So this is maybe not the best example for me, but my point is that by asking them to start between 80 and 75%, then you are not only easing them into what you're going to eventually have them do, but you are also giving them their best shot at not injuring themselves because you're asking them to do too much too fast. So do not start at 50%. Okay, so the C and D columns is where you start, right? So let's see, 55. 76. Perfect. So 76%. Not that you have to use these numbers. You're going to measure your horse and you're going to come up with your own numbers, and then you'll have your spreadsheet here that you can play around with, you know, whether it's 55 inches or 54 inches. Like, it could be any number of inches that make 50% for your horse or 75% for your horse. This is all going to be individual, and as you can see, it's not even like it's a per horse basis. So what the idea is, though, is that this is just your starting point. So let's say 36 is 50% for you or for your horse, and you're going to start the band at 55 inches, which is in the good zone for where to start. And say, like, and as you can see here, I have the date tracking. So just for instance, say that your first time you ever used it was July 1st, right? And then fast forward a month to August 1st, and you're like, okay, so instead of it being at 55 over the course of the last couple of weeks, you know, we've tightened it. And so let's say now you're at, like she is, 48. So now we've gone from 76% down to 66%. And as you can see here, you're still in the yellow, but you're improving and you're moving forward. So the first piece of this spreadsheet is you coming in here, and for your horse, you're gonna do the ab line and you're gonna do the butt line. Now, if you've already used it, like, so for me, right, I've already used it and I've already moved forward, and I did it incrementally. I wasn't cruel, but I don't have the exact numbers for my horse, and that's what I'm like kicking myself for not creating this earlier. It's not like I didn't have the capability. I didn't realize how helpful it was going to be. So with that being said, that's why I created the second sheet here, which is the the Equiband, the actual tracker, right? So we have, you know, example 1. So this is horse 1 and horse. So let's say we only have one horse. We're tracking one horse. So where it is actually measured at. So what do we have? So say the first time you measure it, we had it at 55. The ab band was at 55. And we didn't really do a butt band example, but we'll just leave that at 60. And you used it for 10 minutes, and that was the week of July 1st. So then, you know, when we're in like our second or third week, we want to say tighten it a little bit. So I'm not saying you go from 55 to 48 like in the example on the other side. It would be like, okay, 50. Depends on your horse, depends on how old your horse is, depends on how fit your horse is. But let's say we go to 53 or even 52. You know, like, think about it this way. When you play around with the numbers on the other side, and you recognize even tightening it an inch will increase it by multiple percent potentially, you're not gonna be like, oh, let's just crank it up. Like, it's just too much, right? So, but what I'm encouraging you to do here is to start tracking when you increase it. So you're tracking two pieces here. You're tracking the actual measurements here for the ab and the butt band, and you're also tracking how long you're using it for, because there's actually two ways that you can increase the difficulty level of using the Equiband. And one way is increasing the tension of the band, and the other way is increasing the duration of the amount of time you use it. So with that being said, don't increase them both at the same time. Like, give your horse a chance to really accept and you know, build those muscles in the time that they're going to need to do it. Now, some of you might be thinking, wow, this is going to take a long time. And that's okay, though. That's okay. And this should be thought of as an investment in your horse, an investment in your horse's future. And this spreadsheet just makes it so much easier to paint that picture of, for instance, you know, say your horse at 50% is 36, and you come in here and you're like, yeah, my band is measured at 30 inches. Yeah, go. So then you're at 41%, and that's way too tight. That's out of the scope of even what the Equiband website suggests for you, right? And so you know, this is going to paint a very clear picture of not only where your horse is currently at, but if you use the tracker the way that what I've set up, because this is what I wish I had. This is what I wish I had back when I first started using this, because quite frankly, if I had, this would have been super easy to just pass over to you guys, like, look at what I did, because the difference that I felt in my horse, not only in the way he uses his body, but his strength and his straightness, and just it's really improved his natural ability, has been miraculous. It's been miraculous. So this was why I created this, though, because a lot of the messages I was getting were confusion about whether it's too tight or too loose, or how to combat kind of just the simple, it's not okay. I don't want to say this is like super simple. The reality, though, is that if you put whatever number your band is currently measured at, and then you see this percentage, that really puts it in perspective of how hard you're asking your horse to work. Whether this is the first week you're using it, or whether this is the 15th week you're using it, it's going to show you how hard your horse is actually working. And if your horse is struggling, like if it's difficult for them for where you're currently at, you know, this is also going to show you how you can make it easier on them by, you know, and obviously that can be by you know, increasing the or decreasing the tension on the band. But you're not just gonna go and just undo it and like just start on, you know, this is gonna tell you exactly how many inches to either decrease it or increase it to. This is gonna be so much more direct in terms of how you can really track what you're doing with your horse with the Equiband. So now that you have seen this super awesome tool, like seriously, I can't say it enough. This is what I wish I had 5 months ago. And, you know, it was always in here. I just didn't put it in there. So, with that being said, the next thing I want to share with you is how you can get this tool for yourself. So, down below is going to be a link, and that's going to take you to Facebook Messenger. And what you're going to do on Facebook Messenger is there's a keyword that just popped up on the screen, Equiband Tracker. And if you type in Equiband Tracker when you get into Facebook Messenger, then automatically a link to this spreadsheet is going to be sent to you, and then you can easily just download it. Simple as that. I'm going to say it one more time. This is what I was missing 5 months ago to be able to start with no confusion, because when I started with the Equiband, I had a schedule, I had a plan, I understood how to build muscle up. So I from being a gymnast, I already understood that any sort of fitness building is a process, and it is, you know, my horse was also rehabbing, so there was a built-in kind of system for building up the progress. But I can also say that when I first got it, I was like looking at it like, what? I had more questions than answers. So that was why I wanted to share this spreadsheet with you guys, because this is going to really clarify where your horse, how hard your horse is currently being challenged. And if you use it consistently as you increase, you're going to be able to literally see the progress that your horse is making, not just feel it under saddle as you're working them, but you're going to have the statistics to back it up. So with that being said, all you have to do is use the link below and you're going to go into Facebook Messenger and type in Equiband Tracker, and that is going to automatically send you a link to download this spreadsheet, and then you have access to it forever. I'm not going to take it away. I'm not like, and if I improve it or in any way, I will actually be able to just do it and in this spreadsheet, and it's automatically going to improve yours as well. So, with that being said, use the link, get this free spreadsheet. It can't hurt. It can only help. And so last but not least, I have a really cool announcement. I'm really excited to share with you guys that next week I'm actually going to launch an online course that's going to be A to Z on how to use your Equiband. Not only is it going to be how to apply the Equiband to your current program, but also how to assess where your horse is and how to have the appropriate plan for the Equiband. In addition to, I really wanted to go deep into introducing it to your horse, because I do find that I get some messages, and even people at the barn that I ride at, they're like, yeah, my horse is just really reacting badly to the butt band, and my baby horse, the 2-year-old, reacted really badly to it as well the first time. So I really mapped out the steps of how you introduce it to your horse so that when you start using it, it's not a bad thing. They already accept what you're doing and how you're doing it, and they're on board with the plan. So, I mean, literally A to Z. And also, I will say, this is not the only tool I created. I also created a really cool graph that where you can put your beginning and ending stats in. So being like, okay, so you're gonna start at, so we're starting here at, let's say let's say it's going to be higher, right? So we're starting between 75 and 80%, and then instead of current, think of this as your end goal, which is going to be 50%, which is 36. So this is going to be a graph that's going to outline your trajectory from starting at 75 or 80%, going to 50%, and then how you're going to either increase the percent, either increase the tension on the band, or increase the duration of how much you use it. And by incrementally increasing these two things, eventually you're going to be at 50% on the rubber band, and you're going to be using it for your entire ride. So, guys, all these things that I built, it's just all the things that I know would have been helpful when I was first getting started with this. And then also I'm starting to use these now myself, so that from now on I can be tracking exactly what my horse is doing, because one of the things that is so challenging about horses is they can't talk to you. So all of the planning, all of the execution, all of everything falls on you. And so if that's the case, we may as well make it easier on ourselves. So that's why I created the Equiband tracker, and that's also why I created the course. So the course is going to drop next Wednesday, the 21st. I should probably know that. So the course is going to drop on the 21st, and by downloading the Equiband tracker, I'm going to already invite you to, because I'm also releasing a free training with it. I love just giving you guys all the possible information that you could ever need for being successful with the Equiband. So I really hope this was helpful for everybody. Please, comment below any questions you have. Message me on Instagram. You guys know I respond there as well. And thank you so much for, not only being a part of my journey, but getting started and creating your own journey, because I swear to God, your horse is gonna be transformed. This is a different type of workout. Like, every horse does endurance training every day. We I do 3-day eventing, so we do dressage, we do flat work, dressage, we do jump work, we do poles, we do it all, right? Like, and we even do conditioning and whatnot. But this type of workout is different. It's fundamentally different than every single style of riding that we do. Now, you don't necessarily have to be an eventer. You could be any type of rider. This is going to help your horse build muscles to do their job. And this tracker is going to show you exactly what you need to do to get your horse to where you want them to be. So, with that being said, guys, I don't have a mic. Mic drop. All right. So, get your Equiband tracker now, link below, and then also I will see you guys next week, because while I told you about the course this week, next week is going to be not only a video, but a free training, and then you could get access to that course yourself and get one-on-one with me. So let's do this. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because that really helps me know that you guys like the content I'm putting out. By answering your questions, I've already come up with tons of videos that I can make to help everybody be more successful with their Equiband. But by you guys continuing to do that, that's how we all keep progressing. So, with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.